What's going on, guys? It's your boy James here, Beards and Cars, back with another video. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. If you guys are just stopping by, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now, let me adjust you guys out a little bit because I'm looking crooked. Maybe I'm looking crooked just to myself. So, hopefully you guys can see me here. So, I did a video a little while back talking about health trim, stuff like that. Had a few people asking me just about the health trims in general. How much should you trim off? That's a very hard, very hard subject, because depending on your length of beard is going to depend on how much you should trim off. Everybody is totally different in this situation. Now, my beard is pretty long. It ain't the longest, but it's pretty long. I can afford to take off probably take off that much as a health trim for my beard. Now, I'm not going to take off that much, but it's hard for me to tell you how much to take off yours. Now, I've been trimming my beard ever since, get that out of there. I've been trimming my beard ever since it was growing, but I've only done little bitty health trims. You see how the hair come out of that brush? I only did little bitty health trims. Maybe like, when I say health trim, I'm talking about like that much. If your beard is small, you're not going to want to take a whole bunch off of it. It just doesn't make sense. But you can still trim. I've always trimmed a little bit off the bottom, just a little bitty bit off the bottom to line everything back up, keep it straight, all that type of thing. Keep your beard nice and even. So what I've been noticing here lately is this side of my beard is actually longer than this side. And if I brushed it all out just right, you'd probably notice it. You can see it right there. Kind of tapers down. It's just a little bit longer. It ain't the end of the world. It drives me just about that crazy because I have OCD, but at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal. But this side of my beard is longer than this side. You can see this side actually touches my collarbone right here, where this side doesn't come really that close at all. And you can't really notice it in camera. If I turn my head just right and keep everything just right, you'll notice it. A lot of it's got to do with these longer, I got more gray hair right in this area. Gray hairs are a lot more hard, to me, in my opinion, they're a lot harder to keep up with than just their typical hair that's not gray and curled up and just being completely tough on you, period. You know, they can be tough on the beard, so. And they're a lot curlier and coarser than any other hair that you have, period. Or at least for me and my beard, they are anyways. But in this video, what I want to do, guys, is I just want to show you I know I'm ranting a little bit, but this is just what I want to show you is a health trim, how much I would take off. And the reason I do health trims is because you guys, you get split ends, you get knots, you get things like this, and these help your beard. They're not going to stop your beard from getting any longer, but they will stop you from damaging your beard. All that damage, you know, you get a knot is actually looks like a knot tight. You know, it usually gets on the bottom side, very lower end of the hairs, and those knots, you know, you start coming through and you pull your hairs out. So it actually keep your beard looking more healthy, and that is what helps it grow. Is the healthiness of your beard, and you're not sitting there yanking all your hairs out and you know, kind of destroying your beard at that point. So basically, like I was saying, guys, health trim, how much you want to trim off really depends on the length of your beard. Mine is pretty long, so I can afford to take off a little bit. Although, guys, I'm going to say it, I do not want to take any off my beard right now. I really just want to straighten it up. But I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit off this side and this side. I'm not really going to take anything off the side, so let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it step by step, so this is going to be a long video. If you guys already know how to trim your beard, you're not worried about health trim, thanks for stopping by. See you guys in the next one. All right, so let's go, guys. So I'm going to start out with brushing underneath here with this brush. It's kind of getting through there. And then what I do is I like to actually take and lift up some of this so I can get to this underneath here. Because this, you know, if you just brush your beard down like this, and you take your clippers and you start going through it, the chances of you getting some of these hairs under here are very slim, because you're going to pretty much nib all this front area before you ever touch any of this, and this is going to curl up like it always does. So I like to get some of this out of the way so I can see the back side back here. So that's what we're going to do now. If you guys see me looking over here, it's because there's another mirror. I can see this one better than actually here. So let's get some of this out of the way here. So I actually like to tie mine up out of the way because this hair right here is pretty long. So I'm just going to bunch it up like that just so I can see this. All right. So don't laugh at me, guys. If you are laughing, drop a comment down below. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to work with this right here. So I'm going to actually blow dry this and get this straight. And I'm going to cut some of this off. And I'm going to kind of show you guys how much I'm trimming on the beard my length. You know, everybody, like I said, everybody's beard length is going to be different on how much you trim. So let me get this blow dried and straight, and we'll come right back. Now I'm gonna switch cones so you can see that this side's longer. Let me get it straightened out a little bit more. All right, guys. So now your hands really come in handy here. So get everything nice and straight so you can see it. So if you guys look, it's really hard to see because you can kind of see my neck through here, but this kind of tapers down. This isn't much longer, but it's enough to count in my opinion. So I'm gonna start over here, kind of straighten this out a little bit. And just a little bit at a time, guys. A little bit at a time. So hopefully you guys can see me. I'm gonna try to keep myself in this mirror, but I really want to focus on what I'm doing over here. So So what I'm trying to do is actually get this straightened up. So you notice I took some off here, but not hardly any over here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and actually barely just nib this, just to cut some of them split ends or knots off of there, whatever may be there. So I'm gonna be in this mirror, guys. I'm gonna be probably out of the camera for a minute. Now, I didn't take much over here, but let me blow dry back through there. You know, it's funny, guys, how quick the comb and nice and easy it actually glides through there after you do that little bit of trim. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my pair of scissors, just so I don't take too much, so I can kind of nib this area over here. And there's a reason why I keep combing back through it. It's because some of them get tangled up in there, and you can't actually, you don't see them. So then when you comb and brush back through it, then they may be sticking down a little lower than the others. All right, brush that out. Well, you're probably going to have a couple stragglers, and that's what I'm having going on over here. There's a couple long ones sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and get them because I do not like those hairs in my beard. What happens is the day goes on, I start to see those, and it drives me nuts. The day goes on, my beard starts bunching up, and those stragglers stick out. So, and that's all. So that's about all I'm gonna do on that section. You can tell it's a lot more uniform on both sides. This side is probably still a little bit longer than this side. We're going to have to kind of play catch up there. So next time I trim it out again, I'll actually take a little bit more off this side and not as much off this side. So now I know exactly where that is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this down. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to gauge this hair back where this was and kind of just nip some off of it, right? Remember, like I said, guys, a little bit at a time. That's the key. So now I need to keep all this nice and neat and do all this area right here the same. That's what I need to go for. It's this section right here. So most of this is done, and most of this hair here is pulled from here, just like that. So that's the hair I gotta try to get the same as this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna brush through that, and then trim this. And once again, like I said, the reason we blow dry is to keep it as straight as possible because we're trimming length here. We're not trimming size or nothing like that. We're trimming just length. So now, kind of got like a little step down right here from trimming back here, but not in the front. So that's where we're going to start, is right here where this steps down. Right here it's straight and it chops down just a little bit. So we're going to start right there. As you guys can notice, I'm trying my hardest not to cut too much off the front here, but I do need to trim just a little bit there also. But I know you guys can notice I'm trying to barely trim the front. That's okay. Just a little bit at a time. So really, if you're looking, you guys are thinking I trimmed a whole bunch off my beard. You can see right there, I only trimmed, it steps down just a little bit. So right here, steps down just a little bit. So now let's get this other side. Try to keep that nice straight line right there too. That's the way I like my beard. This side's kind of getting kind of fugly. You can see it kind of drops down, kind of does like a hoop. We'll try to fix that. So we're just trying to continue the shape all the way around. That's all we're doing. And guys, I really needed this trim, so I know people hate to see me trim my beard. Really needed this. Really needed this L trim. I know you guys can probably see me going like, you may be able to see me kind of doing that rounded. I'll do that to get some of these longer hairs in the front, try to blend them in with the rest of it. Let's see what we got. Let's comb through it, see what we got. Here we go. Now, I don't have any beard balm or nothing in my beard at this moment. I had some in before I started, but probably blow dried it out. But you guys can see I've got a nice straight, hopefully you guys can see that. I've got the same shape that I like to keep there. And the same on this side, same nice shape. And it's way more straightened up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry, I about tripped up my scale there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I didn't trim much, just a nice clean shape. That's really all I wanted. That was a health trim. There's not very much hair. Man, it looks like you cut so much off your beard, guys, when you cut it. It's scary. But let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something here. Putting all of it in the sink just so you can see it. Let's see. So, out of that whole trim, that's all I have right there in the sink. That little bitty bit. So, those of you asking about a health trim, that was it. Trim just a little bit off of it. And like I said, guys, it's hard for you guys to see it in here. But man, this comb glides through my beard so much easier than it did before we started. Before we started, you might have seen hairs flying out as I was combing it, pulling knotted hairs out, stuff like that. So it glides so much easier. It feels nice to get a nice little trim. And you know, I'm almost to the point where I need to cut off probably a good inch of it, but I'm trying not to trim too much off of it. When I do trim, it probably doesn't do it, but it feels like it gets nice and longer. It definitely gets more fuller because everything starts catching up from up here to down here. So with that being said, guys, hopefully that helps somebody out. That is my health trim. See you guys in the next one.